Hi, I'm Kathy. Welcome back to my channel. I'm an instructional designer, e-learning developer, and as promised, I'm here to provide you tips, tricks, and hacks to help you make your online courses even more fun. Today, I'm going to be covering one of my favorite all-time tricks, which is how to create a GIF using PowerPoint. Now, I know this might sound a little bit simple, just a GIF, but the truth is that using GIFs in a really elegant way can help really elevate your online courses, especially those made with articulate rise. It just packs a powerful punch, gives it a little bit of flair, and they're really fun. So why this first? To be honest, I got inspired. Today I was walking my dog outside and I saw this cute, chunky little caterpillar. He was just crawling along on my driveway, inching along, didn't have a care in the world or a place to be. And I thought, this is perfect. It's the perfect example of really motion starting from one side of the screen and moving to another. And I thought it would be perfect to recreate in a GIF using, some really basic tools like PowerPoint. I also really loved the symbolism of the caterpillar. It just seemed super spot on for today. The idea of this little bug, this little insect really journeying toward, metamorphosis and new beginnings. It just seemed powerful. I love that symbolism. In this video, I'm going to show you kind of that behind the scenes look of all of the things that I'm going to do in order to make that design come together. I'm going to point you towards some really powerful online resources, useful free resources that you can use in your own design work to really help give your personal design a powerful punch. I'm going to talk about and show you how to use PowerPoint to create that stop-start motion animation that is a GIF. And then we'll actually see how everything comes together in Articulate Rise as a header so that you can see that polish and that flair that I'm talking about. So if you're ready, let's go ahead and dive right in. Okay, so to begin, I am looking for a PNG type of image that looks a lot like my source file over here. So we've got the little fuzzy green caterpillar. He's crawling around on the ground. He is on asphalt, little orange face. So that's really what we're looking for. I want to show you a couple different resources that I like to go to just as asset libraries to go dig around, find good art that I'd like to use in my designs. So I traditionally use FreePic, which I pay for a premium subscription, but they do have a lot of free options as well. FreePic is okay. I don't know that it's necessarily the most elegant, the most professional. You can see a lot of this would be really great if you were creating content for kids, but you do have a good supply of free options here. What I kind of struggle with FreePic is that if I were to do some type of vector pack, usually I need to have to download this and then open it in an Illustrator file, which is just a little bit cumbersome for what it is that we're trying to do right now. So I'm actually going to forego the whole vector image hunt for this experience, and I'm just going to look for a straight PNG. And over here, Raw Pixel has a ton of opportunity for us to do that. This is a really cool website. I just found it. There's an opportunity to go premium, but this is just a free account, and I think the art just is a little bit more elegant. So let me show you kind of what the process is. I'm just going to go ahead and search for Caterpillar over here. And again, I'm on the hunt for a PNG, which has that transparent background. I am here. I'm going to come over here to PNGs, and I guess I have to do the same hunt again. So I'll type Caterpillar again. And this is going to bring up just those transparent background PNGs, right? So there's a lot of options here. I just kind of scroll through. And the first one that really pops out for me is this one right here. We see that there's a transparent background. He's green. He has the same little cute orange face right there. This is a good option. It's a little bit, I don't know, it's a little illustrated for me, but I went ahead and hearted it there, added it to my favorites as an option. There were a couple others that I liked as I am scrolling through. I'm seeing there are some that have, multiple bugs. This is a pretty good option. He's crawling around on the ground. These caterpillars here are on a branch, which doesn't exactly fit our scene, although I guess we could maybe work with them. They're just not exactly what we're looking for. This one looks very realistic. Aha, this one here. So I liked this one already. There are 4 bugs, obviously, here, and I really only want the caterpillar. And because it's a flat PNG, this is not a vector image, I know that I'm going to have to crop this out, but it'll work for me. So I actually already downloaded this one. I really liked it. But again, if you wanted to just hit heart, you can come over here to your account. There's my face, and you can see all of your saved things over here in Raw Pixel. So love this. This is definitely not promoted in any way, shape, or form. I just think that this is an awesome resource for IDs. So if you don't already use Raw Pixel, give it a check out. Okay, so I'm going to come over here to my graphics because I've downloaded the 3 things that I've liked already. Again, I've got my multiple bugs, and I'll be honest, I'm not sure if these are bugs or insects. I know I should know that, but I just don't. I have this one here, but as I'm looking at it, you can see it's a little jaggedy. Obviously, someone cut this out. The background isn't super clean. I know that this is not what I want to use, so I'm going to go ahead and go with the multiple bugs option over here. And again, there you can't see the transparent background here, but I know that I'm going to have to cut these other little bugs out. So let's go ahead and see how that's done. I'm going to pop open a PowerPoint file. I'm going to just do blank presentation. This is fine. I kind of always like to just have blank. So I did that by clicking right click and layout. These are the sort of default options for me of the master slides. I just click blank just because it's easier for me to see and work with. So now I'm going to come over here to my graphics, and I'm really just going to drag this over and drag it in. Great. It always pops up with these design ideas, which really are never that good. Okay, so now I'm going to crop my little caterpillar out because that's all I want to work with right now. So I'm going to hit crop over here, and just using these little drag bars, I can crop the perfect little size of caterpillar. And I want to get close to the edges. Although I know the background is going to be transparent, I just like it to be pretty clean like that. So I'm going to hit crop, and there we have our little caterpillar. And even as I make that bigger, it's actually still, fairly clean. It looks a lot better than the other one. So there's my caterpillar. What I can do at this point is I can right click and I can save this as a picture. I can put this basically anywhere that I'd like it to be. I can come over here to graphics, and maybe I'll just save this as single caterpillar. Single as in one, not single as in unpartnered, I suppose. Okay, so we have our little caterpillar. Now what we want to do is we want to give him or her or it the opportunity to kind of work on the right canvas. This isn't exactly what we want. What I'm looking to do is create a header that's really long and skinny, and I don't need this much white space in my background. So what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to come up here to design, and I'm going to, I'm going to come over here to slide size, do custom slide size, and go to banner. So it's going to give me this sort of like default width, 8 inches by 1 inch, and it's going to shrink my canvas down. I haven't done a lot of designing on it yet, so this is fine. So I'll click OK, and then I am okay to maximize the size of my content. I mean, that's okay. Here is our caterpillar, obviously much bigger than what we're working with. So what I did there, I just hit shift and then I'm scaling him down, right? Scaling him down. So there he is. So let's just take a quick peek over here. Yeah, all right. So we've got something that looks fairly similar, right? So here we have our caterpillar. And what we want to do is create a series of slides that takes the caterpillar from one side all the way over to the other to create this type of experience, right? This sort of, here we are, we're moving along, right? Going frontwards and backwards. So if you can imagine that these are each frames, we can create those same frames using these slides, again, that are super long and skinny. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to start with, I'm going to duplicate this slide and completely delete him or her or it from the first slide. Okay, so it's totally blank because I don't want for the caterpillar to start on screen at all. Starting over here, I'm going to bring it in bit by bit. And the best way to do this is to duplicate the slide, grab your image, and then just change the orientation of it just ever so slightly. So to begin with, I'm actually just going to keep everything straight, and then I'll kind of show you a little bit of how I'll gussy that up. So continue to duplicate my slides, just bringing it across the screen here. Then I'm actually not going to cut him all the way off, I don't think, because the GIF will repeat and we'll start with that blank slide. And then we'll have the experience of him going and coming back. Yeah, so do 19. Okay, doesn't really matter. But as you can see now, as even I have my arrow key and I'm just sort of, moving my arrow keys, you can see here comes the caterpillar. So that on its own is fine, right? That's going to give us that same experience, that same sort of feeling of the caterpillar moving along. But what I want to be able to do is actually do just a little bit more and kind of have him bop up and down a little bit. So I'm going to just ever so slightly have him kind of bop along. Every other one, I'm going to go up, leave this one. I will go down, leave that one. So now I'll thumb through and you can see he's almost leaping. To be honest, that might be a bit much, but you know what? He's a really happy little caterpillar and he's excited to become a butterfly. So I'll just leave it. That's okay. So I'm going to come to export, change file type, and then I'm going to do create animated GIF. And here I have some options. I will do a large file size just because I feel like it doesn't necessarily, I don't know if medium's best. I don't want it to be super big because it's not like going to be a huge video or anything. It's just, I'll do large. I could probably get away with medium. I'm not sure. I'll do make background transparent because in this instance, I'm just not going to use background. And I'm going to make this maybe, let's just say 0.5. This is a bit of like guessing because sometimes if you go too fast, it looks really silly. If you go too slow, it'll look really silly. So I'll just kind of start it at, half a second and see how that's going to look as my little caterpillar is bopping along. So obviously fewer seconds on each slide, the faster that the GIF is going to go and then the quicker that it will loop. So let's go ahead and create GIF and see what happens here. Here he is. Now we'll watch. And off he bops. Oh, I love that he's jumping. That is really cute. And that's really a fine speed, I think. He really was sort of inching along. I don't think he was leaping, to be honest. So if I were to go back and do this again, I might actually leave him kind of at that same orientation, leaving him really just on the ground as he was. But anyway, you get the point here. So here he is. He's moving up and down. Okay, so now we have our GIF. Now what we have to do is actually go and pop it into a Rise course, and I'll show you how that looks really nice. Okay, so now I'm over in Articulate Rise, and I just created a new sample course with one little lesson. What does a caterpillar do? Doesn't really matter what it is or what we're doing here. I'm just really trying to illustrate to you how we can import our GIF to kind of make a course pop a little bit, right? Okay, so this is just a simple heading, subheading, and some body text with a nice background on each of them. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here and add a new block, and I'm going to do image. Of course, we have a few different options over here for our images. I'm going to pick image centered. And of course, it thinks, kind of our default is that big blown up image. That's not what we have. We have something that's much smaller because remember, we had that 8" by 1" banner, which is right here. But that's okay. This is just a placeholder, right? Placeholder. So I'm going to come over here. I'll click edit and add. I'm going to replace this image with my caterpillar bop file. And it's going to look super cute. Give it a second. Beautiful. Oh, I love how he just jumps. Okay, so obviously that's adorable, but in order to make it look really polished, what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the background to be the same background color. So I'm just going to copy and paste this hex code and come over here, click edit. And over in settings, I actually don't want this clicked. This is like a side pet peeve, but make sure whenever you're doing these and there's no reason to click into an image, disable the zoom on click. I digress. So I'm going to paste that background color in, and then you can see I've got my padding on the top, my padding on the bottom. I'll keep the padding on top. This is like kind of a thing I like 60, maybe 30. Let's see what that looks like. It might be a little much. It's really cute. Let's see how this looks. We'll preview it. So you see, he just sort of like comes from one side of the screen. It's not too obnoxious. It's kind of just got a little bit of a little fun, a little pizzazz, right? Because so often Rise courses can be a little dry. So this is a really fun way that you can just spruce things up a little bit, add a little bit of motion that doesn't super distract from the learning experience. So there you have it, how to create a GIF using PowerPoint. Now it's your turn to go off on your own journey towards course metamorphosis, much as our caterpillar, and much like we are here at eLearning as well. So thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, I would really appreciate a like, a subscribe, any kind of comments that you'd like to share down below, letting me know what your thoughts are or what it is that you're creating with this approach. I would love to see them. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Take good care.